Hey, welcome back everybody. The much anticipated 2026 NHL Draft class is already turning heads, and I've got my top 10 names you should be looking out for this season. This includes, in my opinion, at least one guaranteed superstar. You may be asking, the season just started, why are you already talking about the draft? Well, two reasons. First of all, I love the draft and really enjoy prospect evaluation. And second, when you root for a team like I do in the Sharks, you often look forward to the draft before the season already starts. Are there any other fan bases that can relate to that? And real quick, I have a goal of reaching 500 subscribers by the end of the year, or at least in the near future. So if you enjoy the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, as that really helps me out and helps me work towards that goal. Now onto my list of my top 10 prospects for this upcoming draft. And to start things off, I have two words for you: Gavin McKenna. You know you're good when people have been penning your name in at number 1 since you were 16. And for good reason. I could talk about his game for hours. McKenna has it all. But the number one thing that stands out to me is just how effortless he makes scoring the puck look. He's able to pair his ridiculous handles and a lethal shot to create shockingly dangerous goal scoring opportunities from anywhere in the offensive zone. Also, I just love the way McKenna processes the game. His on-ice IQ might just be the greatest asset, which is crazy to say given how freaking talented he is. Let me know if you guys agree with this, but in my opinion, if McKenna was somehow eligible for last year's draft, I don't think there's any question that he would have gone number 1 last year also. Playing for Penn State this year and already a couple games in, McKenna has already made an instant impact, bringing his swagger and his insane skills. I expect McKenna to continue to tear up and dominate the NCAA this year and enter the draft as the undisputed number 1 pick. My only question is, how many teams will end up trying to tank for him this year? Comment down below if your team is one of them. At 2, I have Keaton Verhoeff. He is 6'5" and a right shot defenseman. Do I need to say anything else to justify him at number 2? But seriously, Verhoeff possesses so many traits that modern day GMs drool over from a defenseman. He is great at moving the puck, and while he's not the fastest skater, he's certainly mobile enough. But the one thing that really sets him apart is obviously his size. At just 17, Verhoeff already possesses an imposing frame. I am super eager to watch him play for North Dakota this year and see if he can flash even more offensive tools. But if you're a fan of a team that is desperate for a right shot D-man, like the Sharks, Verhoeff is such an enticing prospect. Next, at 3, I have Ivar Stenberg. And Stenberg split time in Sweden's under-20 league and SHL this last year, and he looked really great in both, but the numbers and these stats are just from his time in the under-20s. And while we're talking about stats, all the stats that I show from everyone will be from last year, since there's really nothing to show for, with most players only playing a game or 2 at most. Also, unrelated, what do we think about these Frölunda jerseys, guys? I actually think they're pretty fire and might need to get me one of them. Okay, but on to Stenberg. People have been calling this Swedish stud a prodigy for years. He holds the record for the most points by a 16-year-old in the SHL playoffs, and Stenberg is a player who has essentially no weaknesses. Great skating, amazing playmaking, and a consistently improving two-way game. But maybe his greatest strength is his awareness. Stenberg never looks flustered or off guard. He plays with so much confidence and is a thrill to watch play. I'm not sure anyone is going to compete for the number 1 spot with McKenna, but if Stenberg has a great year, don't be shocked to see him go number 2. At 4, I have Ryan Roobroeck. Now, I love elite prospects, okay? But on their recent prospect rankings, I believe they had him all the way at 10. And maybe they're right. Maybe they see something that I don't. Honestly, I don't see an argument for having Roobroeck anywhere outside the top 5, let alone at number 10. He's a really talented skater, possesses an amazing shot, and at 6'4", he has the much desired frame for the NHL. If anyone has an argument or a case for why Roobroeck shouldn't be in the top 5 of draft rankings right now, please let me know down in the comments. But from what I understand about NHL GMs these days, they love their big body centers. At 6, we have someone who doesn't have as much size, and that's Ryan Lynn, another coveted right shot defenseman. And Lynn has constantly been one of my favorite players to watch recently. Even during events like the Hlinka Gretzky Cup, where there should be tons of players that can outshine him on that really talented Team Canada, Lynn always seems to be the one that I come away most impressed with. He is just so solid everywhere. And I know at 5'11", Lynn isn't as big as you would want from your defenseman, but he doesn't let that stop him from being physical on the puck and on defense. I know this isn't the easiest skill to improve, but I would love to see Lynn work on his skating more and go from a good skater into an elite one to counter some of those size issues. Next at 6, I have Ethan Belchetz, and he is this year's big, imposing power forward. What is it with the Windsor Spitfire and churning out these huge but skilled forwards? When I look and see how the game is played nowadays in the NHL, I can't help but feel that Belchetz is perfectly suited for it. He combines his huge frame with great mobility and is a beast in front of the net. Anyone that is trying to replicate the Florida Panthers blueprint will probably want to look at Ethan Belchetz. Belchetz was also another standout for me on Team Canada at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. Next, at 7, I have Tynan Lawrence. And if there's one player that I'm worried I have too low on this list, it's Tynan Lawrence. He plays with such high energy and relentlessness that he has become an early draft favorite of mine. And he does it all at the center role, which actually might be kind of light in the top 10 of this year's draft. Lawrence is superb with the puck on his stick and pressing up the ice. But even saying that, Lawrence is the kind of player that adds tons of value to games even when he doesn't show up on the score sheet. Just watch him on the forecheck. Depending on the year he puts together, I can easily see Lawrence jumping in the top 5 in this year's draft. At 8, I have Mathis Preston, and he's got maybe the quickest feet in this draft. And when I say maybe, I mean definitely. Watch this dude skate. That alone will sell you on him. And he isn't just agile. Preston's top end speed is at a level you just can't teach. Preston is able to utilize his breakneck pace and accurate shot to create some of the most exciting plays you'll see. Seriously, watch Mathis Preston play this year. I promise you won't be disappointed. He isn't the biggest dude, but possesses plenty of high-end skills that make up for it. At 9, I have Viggo Bjork, who tore up the U20 Swedish League this last year. He's undersized, but skilled beyond belief. Also, how many elite prospects are your Gardens gonna pump out year after year? What an organization. Bjork is such a smart player, and I'm always so impressed at the vision he plays with, and he's yet another player that I just love to watch and love to see the way that he reads the ice and plays the game. And to pair with Bjork's great vision and IQ, he's got an insane shot that would fit in the NHL right now. No, he's not a huge dude, but I believe Bjork possesses superstar upside. Plenty of teams will jump on in this upcoming draft. So if you're a fan of a team that needs a highly skilled and intelligent player, look no further than Viggo Bjork. Wrapping things up at number 10, I have Adam Novotny. And these numbers won't jump off at you, but keep in mind that this was in the Czech men's league, where I was actually very impressed with how Novotny was able to hold his own and be impactful. But in international play for Czechia against competition his own age, Novotny played extremely well. He brings tons of muscle, which he uses to be a great two-way player. Novotny is also a very natural playmaker with solid vision. He's playing in the OHL this year, which I think is a perfect place for him to put tons of reps in and develop. I predict that he'll look like a man amongst boys there. And 3 honorable mentions that I really wanted to add on to this list, but just couldn't justify or get there, that you should definitely look out for this year are Daxon Rudolph, Chase Reed, and Carson Carrolls. And that's my top 10 list. I'll be interested to see how this list will change throughout the year, and you can be sure that I'll update and have a couple more videos of my top 10 or even maybe my whole first round for this upcoming year's draft later on in the year. But guys, let me know if you guys agree with this list or you disagree, whether guys I was too high on, did I miss out on anyone? Seriously, let me know and let's have a discussion down below in the comments. Also, who are you guys most excited to watch this year? But anyways, thank you so much for watching and taking time out of your day to watch this video. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, as that really helps me out and helps me on this YouTube journey, which I am just at the beginning of, and there is so much more to come. But anyways, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.